BigJackFilms. How's it going? Brad here. Really, Cody? Alright, I think my dog wants to join this video. I'm going to be reviewing a movie I saw a couple of days ago called Venom. So, let's get started. So yeah, I saw Venom a couple days ago with some friends, and I thought, you know, to put some content out for you guys, since I don't put a lot of content on this channel that often, I would talk about the movie that I saw. So Venom, to sum it up, it's actually a surprisingly good movie. When I went into the theater, I was not expecting it to be that good, because, for one, they knocked it from an R rating, which I really wanted it to be, to a PG-13 rating, and they cut out about 40 minutes of footage that I heard was apparently Tom Hardy, who is Venom's favorite parts of the movie, essentially, which I was a little disappointed in hearing that. So when I went in to see it, I was very skeptical, but I walked out of it and I was like, you know what, that was kind of a fun, good popcorn flick. It wasn't like, in terms of like a superhero movie, I wouldn't say it was an amazing superhero movie. Like, I think a lot of Marvel's movies are probably more superior, but I think, you know, for a fun popcorn flick to go see something fun movie with your friends, this is the type of movie you should go see. But to sum up the plot, essentially, it takes place, I don't know exactly when it takes place, but at this point, the Earth has pretty much used up most of its resources. So there's this big corporation lab sort of place that's trying to infuse alien symbiotes with superhumans so we can live both without resources and we can even live off of Earth. And it's being controlled by this this head guy who you can tell is just your classic evil villain sort of thing in like a superhero movie. So, you know, nothing really unique with his character at all, but, you know, he's okay, I guess. My phone's going off. So yeah, and then the main guy is Eddie Brock. He's played by Tom Hardy. He is he's like a journalist, a news journalist. He gets an interview with the guy that is the head of the company, and I forgot how, but I know he knows that the company is doing some fucked up shit. So he tries to confront the guy during the interview, and in the end, security throws him out. He gets fired from his job. His girlfriend gets fired from her job, and he loses hers, and he loses his apartment and like everything. So he pretty much loses everything. Also, there's a lot of background noise, and the dog's just kind of curious about what's going on. So you might hear him a lot. You might hear his breathing a lot. So just kind of try and deal with it. You know, I don't have a whole lot of time right now to be recording this, so I kind of have to do it during the day. Anyways, back to the topic. So yeah, he interviews him, loses everything, and then we then kind of find out that one of the head women in the lab realizes that everything is pretty fucked up, as the head guy, he was testing the symbiotes on humans and it's killing people. They're putting it in their bodies and it's literally like eating all of their organs and shit and killing them. And the head guy's just like, when they die, bring in the next subject. Like, he just does not give a single fuck. So she's like, that's completely fucked up. So she finds Eddie Brock, tells him he's right, this guy's fucked, we gotta get him. And so he brings him, she brings him into the lab. He goes in, but there's a woman that he knows. I can't remember how he knows her. Again, I saw this movie a couple days ago, so I'm a little hazy about all the details. So, you know, that's why I might be like kind of, I don't know who this is, I can't remember this person's name, because the details I'm a little hazy on right now. So please try and work with me. Yeah, so he sees her in like this enclosure sort of thing, and she has a symbiote in her and is freaking out, trying to get out. So he takes a chair, he smashes the thing open, and she gets out, and she just, like, puts the symbiote into him, and then that's how Eddie Brock becomes Venom. And you see him kind of become Venom more and more throughout the movie. You see just kind of how he can use his strength and all that sort of stuff. Eventually, the woman that brings him in kind of like snitches on him and says that he has a symbiote, kind of to save her life, sort of thing. So the main guy sends all these guys into his apartment, and that's kind of when you see a little more of Venom. He fights them and everything. So let's move on to what I actually think of Venom himself. For one, I think the casting was great. I think Tom Hardy did an excellent job as both Eddie Brock and, of course, Venom. And Venom himself, this is the Venom I've been wanting since Spider-Man fucking 3. Because Spider-Man 3, I was excited for that movie because Venom is essentially my favorite Spider-Man villain. That and Mysterio. So when I heard that, when Spider-Man 3 came out, I heard there was going to be Venom, I was excited. Me and one of my best friends at the time, we went to see it, and we were both completely disappointed. One, we didn't like how Venom looked in that movie, and two, we didn't really think Topher Grace, the guy from that 70s show, did a really good job at all. So we were pretty disappointed. But this Venom is the Venom I would have wanted at that time, because he looked amazing, he sounded amazing, he was funny. There were genuine moments in this film where I was laughing my ass off. Me and my friends were just laughing at some of the jokes. Because Venom, he's a voice inside the Eddie Brock's head and talks to him like a really dark, kind of like Gablor, sort of in Jack's reviews. He kind of has a similar voice to him, or like really deep. And but it's just funny. Like, I'll tell you a quick scene. This is a little more towards the end of the movie. I can't remember what building he breaks into. I think it's the building where he used to work in. He leaves like a note that says "Do the right thing, fucking pussy" or something like that. With I guess the evidence that this science lab is completely fucked. And he couldn't get in through the front door, so he climbed the building as Venom and broke in. But then, mind scattered. When he puts the note and everything down, he looks at the window, and Venom tells him, "Jump." Then it just cuts to an elevator door. He presses the button, and then Venom's just like, "Pussy." And the whole theater was laughing. It was great. I don't remember everything else. Yeah, so the movie, as it goes on, I guess I'll probably just get into the ending, because everything else between there and that, there isn't a whole lot really to talk about. You see Venom a little more, you see him do other things, you see the symbiote leave Eddie Brock at one point, when he goes to his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend's doctor or whatever, because she gets with another guy. The symbiote ends up coming out here and they trap him, but the symbiote escapes through like some from like an air duct sort of thing, and my throat's a little sore. I'm sorry. And like it ends up going into a fucking dog, and I kind of wanted to see a Venom dog ripping people apart. That would have been hilarious, but unfortunately it didn't happen. It ended up going to his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, sorry, who ended up putting into him when Eddie Brock's in the forest, as he was caught by the head guy's minions, essentially, from the lab. Cody, don't sniff my fucking camera, please. Sorry, the camera's moving there a bit. My dog was sniffing it. So I'm trying to remember everything else now. Yeah, I guess, yeah, since I've mentioned that, I probably have to get to the end now. The movie ends, the main head guy, he is now Riot, who's another symbiote. What happens, how it becomes Riot, though, is there's several times in the movie where it cuts to, like, an Asian woman, I don't know what country, but she has the symbiote. It then goes into a little girl, and then from the little girl it goes into the main guy, which is interesting, I guess. I didn't really get kind of how they got to these places, because somehow, you know, the woman got to an airport, then this girl got from this airport to the fucking facility. I don't really know how that happened, but, you know, it happened. Sorry, my dog's being an ass. So yeah, so it ends with Venom and Riot fighting, essentially. And Riot, as I said, is the head guy of the, I think his name's Riot anyways, of the facility. And they fight, because Riot wants to escape in this big rocket sort of thing to go back to his planet. But Venom wants to stay on the planet because on his own planet he feels like he's a loser. Now here's kind of a part of me where I was kind of like, about. And that was kind of the whole how Venom felt like a loser on his planet thing. Not because I was a little disappointed in that, because they kind of just explained it really, really quickly. Like, oh, I'm a loser on my planet, so I want to stay here. I would have liked to see some more development between Eddie Brock and Venom to kind of just see more of why he truly wanted to stay on the planet. You know, I would like to see, I don't know, more of like a semi-deep conversation or something like that, at least between the two characters, or between Venom like the inner voice of Venom and Eddie Brock sort of thing. But it was very rushed, very just kind of, you know, oh, I want to stay on the planet because I'm a loser, sort of, just quick like that. I guess I'll also say something else annoying about the movie is that you can tell that stuff was cut out because it really jumps from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. It goes from Eddie Brock and Venom, the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend and her husband, the facility, the Asian woman, and it just jumps. So you can tell there's stuff missing. It wasn't edited that well, unfortunately. I really wish some of that 40 minutes would have been left in, because I think that would have made it a lot better of a movie. Because I think giving it a PG-13 rating, it does feel like it kind of held it back in a lot of ways, in my opinion. Oh, I swear to God, he's chewing on my table. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I do feel like in a lot of ways it did affect the story, or it did hold back the story from being a really good superhero, or I guess for a villain movie. But I think for what we got, I was pleasantly surprised. It's fun, lots of action. Venom looks amazing. Again, sorry, my dog. He's doesn't understand what I'm doing right now. He's a puppy, little German Shepherd, a big German Shepherd puppy actually. So he's doesn't really understand what I'm doing right now. So that's why he's Cody. Sorry about that. My dog's not behaving right now. I had to deal with him for a minute. So I'm trying to remember where we were at. Yeah, I was talking about the ending. I was talking about what I didn't like. Okay, I can't remember now. Shit. Yeah, you can tell it just wasn't, like, edited well. You can tell it was really held back by that, which was disappointing. But for what we got out of it, a lot better than I was expecting. Again, I was very skeptical going into the theater. I was like, oh, this is probably just gonna be kind of, you know, eh. But I walked out and I'm like, you know what, that's a fun popcorn movie. And the cool thing about it, there is an after credits scene. And I'm going to explain that right now. Basically, the after credits scene is Eddie Brock. He's back as a journalist now. He gets his job back at the end. Or he gets another job, I can't remember exactly. So he gets an interview with the killer in jail. And he goes in and they talk a little bit, but they reveal at the end that the guy in jail is Carnage. In a kind of a cheesy way, but they reveal that he's Carnage, and basically in the next movie, because I think this is going to be a trilogy, we're going to get Carnage, which is going to be fucking cool. Because I've always wanted to see Carnage in a movie. Throughout all of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans and the Amazing Spider-Man movies, one of the things I really wanted to see is Carnage. And the fact that we're finally going to see Carnage in a movie, I think that's going to be awesome. I hope they just do it well. And if they can give it an R rating, you know, that'd be fucking sweet. But we'll see what happens there. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, and I probably will see Carnage when it comes out. Potentially with the same group of friends. We all like, you know what, when Carnage comes out, we should go see it, since we all saw Venom together. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give Venom... Oh, and there's more background noise again, I'm sorry. I would give Venom a 7 out of 10. Maybe a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10 around there. It wasn't a perfect movie, it was definitely a flawed movie. But it's one of those movies where if you want to just turn your brain off for a bit, you know, sit back with some popcorn, and, you know, have yourself a good fun time, go see Venom. If you're looking for a really, like, solid, like, superhero Marvel-esque movie, this is definitely not the type of movie you should see for that, because you're not going to get that experience out of it. It is definitely just a sit back and relax with some popcorn sort of a movie. And I will also say that's probably one of the better superhero movies that Sony has released in quite a long time. Most of the Fantastic Four movies and stuff, those were shit. So, I think Sony put those out, right? Let me know down below if I'm wrong or not, but I believe those were by Sony, like the Fan 4 stick or whatever. But, yeah, it's definitely one of the better superhero movies that Sony's put out in quite some time. So I am quite pleased about that. It was definitely a flawed movie. So again, like a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10. Let's say 7, actually, let's be fair. So yeah, that's going to be the review, the midnight screening, even though it's middle of the day, 2 days after I've seen the movie. I want to apologize if this came off kind of crappy, as this is completely unscripted, and I'm not really one for unscripted videos normally. And it's been a couple of days, so my memory on the whole movie is a little bit hazy at the moment. I don't remember every single detail, so I'm not as good as Jack is with that stuff. Jack can see a movie and like a week later he can still tell you every little fucking detail, which is awesome. I wish I had a mind like that, but I don't. Within a couple of days I can only remember the main bits of the movie and I'll forget a lot of other little details. But yeah, I enjoy doing this little vlog actually. And you might see this here and there from me on the channel as my own sort of midnight screenings if I see movies without Jack. Not necessarily every single time. It depends on what I'm doing, because I'm actually have a job now. I'm going to be working at Walmart. If everything completely goes right, I have an orientation there, so I got the job essentially. So I might be a bit of a slowdown in videos, but you know, that's kind of going to be how it's going to be. But I'm going to try to get as many reviews out for you guys as possible, many videos on my main channel, Studio 95, which I suggest you go check out. Link at the end of this video and below, I believe, as well. So go, check out my channel. I do lots of nostalgic reviews there. Hell, the slogan for my channel is the Studio 95, your hub for nostalgia. So, a lot of good stuff over there, so just go check it out. Anyways, I'm just rambling on now. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. This has been a midnight screening with just me, Brad Dunn, aka Studio 95 on YouTube. See you later.